Hey everyone! So you've installed your boosted lighting solution C8 engine bay lighting kit. You've probably gone through some of the settings on the remote, figured that out, and now you kind of want to play around with the app or maybe see your battery voltage or check the temperature of your engine bay. So this is a video for you. We're going to go ahead and go through a lot of the settings on the web app so that you can configure the LEDs to your liking as well as see some of those parameters. There's going to be a lot of info here, so if you have any questions, please leave a comment below or reach out to us at info@boostedls.com. We'll also have this video segmented into different sections so that you can quickly refer back to it. So the info will be right there for you. But again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Your engine bay lights are connected to a built-in Wi-Fi network. This Wi-Fi network will not have internet access, but your phone will be able to connect to it to play around with the lights, change the colors, etc. To connect to the Wi-Fi network, right now we're on an Android phone, and we're also going to show you how to do it with an iPhone. But I'm going to go into my settings here, and here I see boosted lighting 00. Yours will say boosted lighting and then 2 random digits. I'll click that, and your password is going to be the name, it's going to be boosted and then the last 2 digits of the Wi-Fi's network name. So in my case, the password is boosted 00. So I'm going to connect to that. And on Android devices, it will typically ask if you want to maintain connection with this network, and that's because the device is telling you that, hey, you don't have internet access, but that's totally normal. On an iPhone, this menu will pop up within a minute or so. Select Use Cellular Data to continue using your cellular data while connected to the network. So now we're connected. Another thing we're going to want to do is go back into your network settings for the boosted lighting Wi-Fi network. And here on Android, you'll see an auto connect option. On iPhone, this is what you'll see. And we're going to deselect the allow connection to this network when in range. So we're going to turn that off so that your phone doesn't always connect to it every time you get in your car. The web app is only intended to be used when you're programming the remote with your favorite presets or when you want to view your battery voltage or engine bay temperature. Some devices might not allow the use of cellular data while you're connected to the network, so it's best to only be connected to the network under these circumstances. So next thing we're going to do is go into your favorite web browser. I'm using Google Chrome, you might be using Safari, whatever works. Go into the web address bar and type engine.local. Hit enter, and this will take you into our web app. This isn't an app that you need to install, but I recommend that you go ahead and add it to your home screen. This is how you do it on Android. And this is how you do it on iPhone. Quick overview. So we obviously have the power button, timer, which is the same button on the remote. It sets a 60-minute timer. The sync function we won't go over right now. That's going to be at a later date. Peak gives you a preview of what your LEDs are displaying. Info shows you what version you have as well as what your battery voltage is, and then the temperature of the engine bay. We have a settings page here on the bottom. The screen we're on now is called colors. That's where you can change the colors of the LEDs, of course. Then you have effects, segments, which is more of an advanced feature that we will go into later, and then all of our presets. So the first thing we're going to go over is how to change your button 3 and 4 on the remote. So if you have a favorite color or a favorite effect, this will be the easiest way to access that favorite color or effect without logging into the web app. So as you can see, when I press button 3 as shown in the previous video. Our default is bright white. Let's say we wanted to have a custom orange color. So I'm going to go into our color screen here, and I'm going to use the color wheel and find the color orange that kind of matches Sebring orange. So it's maybe a little bit darker. Okay, I think that looks good. So now what we're going to do is head over to presets on the bottom right corner. And here's where you'll see all of your presets. Button 3 is the button we're trying to change. Press the down arrow here and select overwrite with state. Don't change any other parameters. Press save. So now, as you can see, let's go back to colors and change the color to blue. I'm going to press my button 3 now, and it's no longer white. It is now going to be my custom Sebring orange color. So it's pretty much the same process for changing button 4. I'm going to go into effects, and I'm going to select bouncing balls. Going into presets, button 4, same thing, drop down, overwrite with state. So again, whatever state that you currently are in, if it's a blue color, if it's bouncing balls, you're going to overwrite this preset with whatever effect you're on. So we're going to hit save. Now let's select color loop here. I'm going to press button 4. Now you can see bouncing balls is selected. Now, since we're on the effects topic, I wanted to show you some changes that you can do to the effect. The sliders on the bottom, the first one adjusts the speed of the effect. I can make it go faster, I can make it go slower. The bottom slider is the intensity slider. This slider allows you to change how strong or intense the effect is. Adjusting the intensity slider will vary depending on each effect. So play around with it on your chosen effect to see how the effect changes as you move the slider. So now if we head over to colors, you'll see these 3 circles here. Here's where we can really customize our LEDs and our different colors. Right now, obviously, we have the Sebring orange color still selected. I'm going to select this slot and change it to red. That wasn't a very good one. Let's go to white. Okay, there you go. Now you can really see the differences there. Let's change this one to green. So now you can see a variation of colors. Also, we can scroll down to see the color palettes. This will change our lights according to the bar below the name of the color. I'll select a few of them so you can get an idea how it will be displayed on the lights. For example, colors only will display orange, white, green, and then orange across the LEDs. So now we're going to move into segments. This is a more, like I said before, advanced feature. I'm going to show you a preset that is already preloaded, and that is the red, white, and blue preset. So as you can see, we have a red, white, and blue displayed on the LEDs. And if you press peak here, you'll also be able to see that that's what's displaying. The LEDs are segmented in rows of 16. If we go over to segments, we have this segmented in 3 different categories. Let's say we wanted to change the first segment to green. We're going to uncheck these 2 boxes and head over to colors and select green. Now you can see only part of the LEDs change to green. Say we want to have Italian colors instead of USA. Go back to segments, uncheck that one. The last segment we're going to change to red. Now we have Italian colors. So it's very versatile. You can change the LEDs to virtually any colors and combinations that you want. You can even add another segment and even further narrow down different colors that you want. So now you're going to want to go back to your presets and change to a different color, because if you forget the segments settings on, you might be trying to change your colors and you're only going to change part of them. So it's best practice to go back and change it back. Now we're going to move on to presets. If you want to add a new preset, you can do that. Let's head over to presets. You can name it whatever you want. Let's say we'll call it favorite. And the quick load label will allow it to go above all of these presets that you're seeing on the screen. That way, if you have a favorite and you want to quickly get to it, it'll save to the top. So let's change it to quick label 1. Save. So favorite is down here now, but you'll also see the number 1 up here. Now we're going to check out our info section. Here's where you're going to see the version, your battery level, and then of course your temperatures. You can see our battery voltage right now is 12.54 volts. That will update the default is every 15 seconds. When you press refresh, it will update. And then of course your temperature. So we have the current temperature right now is 95 degrees. Your max temperature over a 30-minute time span, which is default, is 95 degrees. Your minimum temperature was 92.3, and the average has been 93.65. You need to make sure, if you want to know the temperature of your engine bay, that you have the LEDs turned off. If you don't, it may skew the engine temperature measurement. Because these LEDs are always connected to the vehicle, any circuit board is going to generate some heat. So when the LEDs are off and say it's 20 degrees in your garage, the LEDs may not show that it's 20 degrees. It's going to be higher because of the temperature of the circuit board. So the effect you're seeing now is the low battery effect. That's when your car's battery reaches around 12.2 volts. This effect will come on anytime your battery gets that low to alert you that you need to attend to your battery. When your battery reaches about 12 volts, that's when the lights will turn off. So if your battery is still at 12 volts, you can override it, but the software will continue turning off your lights. That's when you know you need to charge your battery. So now let's go into our settings, and you really don't want to mess with too many of these settings unless you really know what you're doing, or if you have questions, contact us. We'll make sure to answer them, and we can tweak the LEDs to your liking if needed. But we're going to go ahead and go into our battery voltage and temperature settings. When you scroll down, you'll see auto off and indicator. When your battery reaches 12.2 volts, it will automatically come on. If you don't want this enabled, hit the check mark next to enabled. Auto off is when the battery reaches around 12 volts, the lights will automatically turn off. Again, you can turn them back on whenever you want, but they will continuously turn off until the battery reaches above 12.2 volts. If you don't want this enabled, hit the check mark next to enabled. Both of these will be enabled by default. Now we'll take a look at the temperature settings. The temperature settings shows that the read interval is every 15 seconds. So every 15 seconds it's going to update and tell you the temperature. The time span is set in minutes, and that defaults to 30 minutes. Say you're at the track and you want to know what your temperatures were during a session, or if you come off the track and you want to know what your heat soak of the engine bay is going to be, you can change that, let's say, to 5 minutes, and you will get a maximum, minimum, and average temperature over 5 minutes. Another cool thing about the temperature feature is the LEDs will actually change colors based on the temperature of your engine bay. That's actually one of the presets that you can cycle through on your remote. But if I go ahead and go into presets and look for temperature, so now you can see when it's cold, which is around, let's say, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, they're going to display blue. And as the temperature of your engine bay heats up, it's going to gradually change colors until it gets to red. So that's kind of a neat feature that the temperature sensor also has the capability of doing. Here we're going to simulate how the temperature of the engine bay can change the colors of your engine bay lighting. So as you can see, the max temperature that we got on that test was 165.2 degrees Fahrenheit. So now we'll watch it cool down. We're going to take some compressed air and also simulate how the lights go from a hot color back all the way down to a cooler color based on the temperature of the engine bay. So it gets pretty hot in the engine bay. Our engine bay lights can withstand even hotter temperatures than that. We've engineered it to make sure the intense environment that the engine bay lights are living in won't affect the operation and the materials that the engine bay lights are made of. And that's all, everyone. Again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment below or email us at info@boostedls.com. We're very excited to share this engine bay lighting kit with you, as well as all the new and upcoming products that we have to offer. So stay tuned for those. Have an awesome day.